On the fifth Sunday in Lent, we're obviously aware of what Jesus must have felt just a couple of weeks before he was probably going to get killed. And that is reflected in the bit of gospel we had at Mass this morning. It comes in chapter 12 of St. John's Gospel. Just listen to this. Among those who went up to worship at the festival were some Greeks, and these approached Philip, who came from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, "Sir, we would like to see Jesus." So Philip went to Andrew and told him, and Philip and Andrew went together to tell Jesus. And then Jesus answered, "Now the hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. I'm telling you most solemnly, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains a single grain. But if it dies, it produces a great harvest. Now my soul is troubled. What shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? But it was for this very reason that I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name." And a voice came from heaven, "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." They wanted to see Jesus, and that's the answer they got. It reminded me, years ago I took a group to Rome, and they came from the parish, and we were in St. Peter's Square when the Pope said the Angelus. So thousands of people there packed in, and right up in the window, high up, you see this little figure in white. The sound system is good, so you can hear everything. And then he spoke and gave us a blessing. And one of the group contacted her mother that day and said, "We've just seen the Pope, and he gave us his blessing." And her mother told everyone in the parish, "Michael has such fantastic influence." Immediately they got to see the Pope and they got his blessing. It didn't say how many thousands of others were there. They say you want to see the Pope, looking for a private audience. You want to have a selfie or something, a photo with him. Why do you want to see him? And I wonder if it's the similar with those Greeks. We want to see Jesus. Well, Andrew could have said, "Well, look over there, you can see him, he's preaching." Now when they say we want to see him, have a selfie with him or something. And when they said it to Jesus, he interpreted not just a seeing like that, he interpreted as if they wanted to be his disciples, and he warned them. Now the Son of Man is to be glorified, and I'm telling you, and he takes that metaphor, frightening one, beautiful. A grain of wheat must fall in the ground and die, otherwise it remains a single grain. If it dies, it produces great harvest. But you just imagine, if you're a little grain of wheat, you pick, if you've seen them, you pick them up and they're beautiful. Each one is shiny and round. Each one has its own shell which protects it. Drop it on the floor, it won't bruise. The little grain is completely protected by its shell. And you put it in the ground with a bit of moisture, and then the shell breaks. It disintegrates. And what does the seed feel like then? It doesn't feel like growth. This is the end. Destruction. The shoot goes up through the earth, but that doesn't feel like anything at first. Jesus uses that metaphor of himself and the fear, because it's a struggle to come to be glorified. When he talks about being glorified, Jesus is not talking about his resurrection. He's talking about the moment when he died. That was the moment when he'd come to complete generosity, complete self-giving, when he was totally fulfilled. That's when I'm glorified, when I'm totally fulfilled. I really become what I'm meant to be created. Total generosity. What do we mean by glorify God? St. Irenaeus has a lovely expression. The glory of God is a man fully alive. A man is fully alive when he sees God. The glory of God is a woman fully alive, and a woman is fully alive when she sees God. We don't mean fully alive, meaning absolutely fit and you can do water skiing and all those things. As you get older, you're physically less fit. But if you become yourself with a total giving and total generosity, that's being fully alive. And that gives glory to God. And it happens again and again in your life. It happened again and again in Jesus' life. With a child, you see, a child, first of all, mine, a child needs to possess its own cup, its own bowl, its own toys. And then he goes to a further stage when he can give them away. Have some of my ice cream. They'll give you some to earn your affection, your love. But we grow beyond that. We love people not for what they can give us, but just love them to give to them. And in doing so, this is being fulfilled, being totally myself. This is a man fully alive, a woman fully alive. And so we grow like that. More than one. You may, for instance, in your praying, you may have experienced part in your life when you prayed and really felt God was there, deeply moving. And you go on praying and afterwards nothing. God disappears. I've lost it. It's almost as if the Lord is saying, do you want to see me? Do you want me or the lovely feeling that goes with it? Again and again in our lives, things come like that. You get ill or something goes wrong and you beg and pray the Lord to heal it. Sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't, as if he's saying, do you still trust me? Look back in your life, you may see things which have gone totally wrong, you've prayed, and they went wrong and the prayer wasn't answered as you asked, but later you could see, yes, good job it did and it was much better. But there are other things that have happened like that. I can't see that they got better. I don't know why they went wrong, and I begged at the Lord. And all I can say is the Lord is saying to me, will you still trust me? As I grow in trust, and I hope I do, and in generosity, this has become fully alive. And this is what happened to Jesus, coming to the moment of total generosity. God was glorified. Do you want to see Jesus? Like those people said, can we see Jesus? If you really come to see God, not with your eyes obviously, something is happening to you. But Jesus warns that in the process it can be quite painful. It is total self-giving. And that is the moment of glory. Now the Son of Man is to be glorified by being nailed to a cross. Total giving. But the struggle that went before it, the agony as they call it in the garden. Agony means a struggle. So don't worry if you find you're having a struggle even to let go. Do you want to see Jesus? Then he will open your eyes and open your heart. And if you want it, don't be surprised at the pain that comes with it, because you will come to see God. God bless you. May he open your eyes and your heart.